Well, let's take you back to the Sandton Convention Centre where SABC News anchor Mfundo Mabalane is standing by with the latest update from the summit.
Thank you very much, Liesel. Yes, indeed, we're still here at the Sandton Convention Centre for the 15th BRICS Summit. We're now joined via Zoom by Aleksei Kechko. He's a member of the BRICS Council. Aleksei, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. We believe you partook yesterday in the business forum, and we listened to the report on just the deliberations from the forum. What was your impression, firstly, of the forum?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. I think my overall impression is that we are making right steps into the right direction. We are five countries which are very large in their respective regions, and we are now probably the largest representatives of the world global economy. So it's important that we discuss together things which are important to us, and we can push together to achieve necessary goals. As you see, G7 are very united in their actions. They always have common agenda, and it matters for us, countries which are developing, quickly developing, to have our common agenda and to speak from our point of view.
Now, when listening yesterday, I understand that most of the business people that were at the forum stated that they were generally vulnerable to sharp and sudden interest rates and were therefore calling for the DFI, at least there for there to be concessional capital, that perhaps if we get direct investment there, which is more concessional, then it might assist. What is your take on that?
This is very true. High interest rates are not good for especially project finance, and we need to develop our infrastructure and even to build a new green infrastructure which is renewable. And we need new mechanisms to invest because the old ones are not sufficient. Probably you know that the developed countries agreed in 2015 to support transition to green economies and provide sufficient capital to developing countries. But they backslided on those commitments, and now we have to think ourselves about those mechanisms which we shall use to finance our further growth.
And what role could the new development bank play in this effect?
I think they are already playing more important role than ever before. It's a very good step that they started to provide loans in local currencies. Like currently in South Africa, they will provide few loans which are in rands. So they have done also in China, in Russia, and it will help us not only be financed to grow our economies, but also it will help to trade more in national currencies, to use more national currencies in our trade and investment relations.
Now that you touch on national currencies, I'm sure you've also partook in the conversation around de-dollarization. We understand that as part of the business forum, you guys deliberated extensively on this matter, but could reach no consensus, that there were strong views for de-dollarizations and also strong views opposed to it. Where did you stand on this matter?
I think everyone agrees that we need investments and settlements in local currencies. No one said that we shouldn't use our currencies to do that. Of course, it will be difficult to create a new settlement system, a new payment system without US dollar. And I don't think we need to exclude any other currencies, but we have to be able to do more with our currencies. And there are several concepts which we discussed in Financial Service Group, from stablecoin to creating mechanisms of mutual credit ratings, or of guarantees which we can provide to our state members. These are currently only concepts, and I think we shall make further steps in the near future, because this is what actually economy needs. For instance, Russia has increased settlements in local currencies significantly lately, and we work in yuans. With China, we work with Indian rupees, with India now much more than before. For us, it's a very important question, and we are open to any suggestions from other countries.
And then on the political front, there's just been this general theme of inclusivity, a world that is more inclusive, multilateral institutions that are more inclusive. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, I think everybody agrees that the world has to be inclusive. We should not exclude any countries, and this is what BRICS is about. I know BRICS may expand in the near future, and we may add several other countries, trying to stay efficient at the point of time. And this is very different to what G7 typically does, because they try to have their own agenda and push for it, often not listening to voices of other countries. So I think this is what BRICS is about.
Aleksei?